The Aspire AVP All-in-One. The Aspire AVP All-in-One was sent to me for review from AspireVapeCo.com. This is a new all-in-one pod system developed by Aspire, so let's talk about it. It's 82 millimeters in length, 39 millimeters wide, and 14 millimeters thick. Has a 700 milliamp hour battery. It uses 1.2 ohm nichrome coils, has a 2 mil capacity, and it comes in the colors of black, gray, purple, rainbow, and orange. And you can get it for around $29.99. In the box, you get the Aspire AVP device, a micro USB charging cable, 2 empty refillable pods, a lanyard, and a user manual. The device looks very sleek, and I love the colors. You can go with the black or gray if you like to keep it simple, but the purple, rainbow, and orange colors all really pop and look awesome. The shape is nice and comfortable to hold, and the carbon fiber panel adds a nice touch. Overall, I think the design is pretty nice. It's 3.2 inches tall, 1.5 inches wide, and a ½ inch thick, so it's small. And what I really like about the size and shape, in particular the flatness of it, is that it fits perfectly in my pocket without feeling bulky. Despite the size, it actually has a little heft to it, but that's not a bad thing. It makes it feel strong. There's also this spot on the side to attach a lanyard, which is included in the box. It's a neat lanyard too because it has a quick release feature. The pod has a tapered mouthpiece, so it's comfortable to take a hit from, and the coils are built into the pods, so when the coil dies, you do need to buy a new pod. The coils inside are built at 1.2 ohms using nichrome wire, so they are designed for low wattage and high performance. That nichrome wire really helps these coils to fire fast and taste good. To fill up the pod, you turn it upside down and fill her up. These pods have a valve-type fill port. If you've ever seen the Vaporesso Zero, that will look familiar. When you push the fill port down, it opens up the valve and lets e-liquid in, but it can't come out. So it's great for preventing leaks. I haven't had any leaking issues with this. You just need to make sure that you push in that valve far enough so that e-liquid gets through. It holds 2 mils of e-liquid, which is typical of pods and also TPD compliant for those of you in the UK. And that should be plenty for most people using a device like this. When it's full, just drop it back into the device and it falls into place using 2 very strong magnets. The pod can go in either way. Aspire also made it easy to see how much e-liquid is in the tank from the sides of the pod too. To turn it on, you hit that mode button 5 times, and the same to turn it off. Being able to turn off a pod device is a pretty big positive in my opinion because you can turn it off and not have to worry about it firing in your pocket. Not that these really do anymore, but it's still a good safety feature. The Aspire AVP uses auto draw to activate, so you just take a hit and it fires. And it fires fast too. The chip in here seems to be really good. The airflow comes in from the hole on the side of the device, the same place you attach the lanyard. The airflow is a little loose. It's still a restricted mouth to lung draw, but it's not as restricted as I would have liked it to be. It's loose enough to do a lung hit. I really wish more of these devices had adjustable airflow. The flavor is pretty good. Not as good as a mesh coil, but it's good, and I never get a dry hit using this. It wicks really well. What's also really cool is that Aspire built in a variable wattage adjustment feature, which means that you can adjust the wattage to your preferences. On the front of the device is an LED light, and that tells you what wattage you're set at. To change the wattage, you can click the settings button twice. Red sets it to 8 watts, blue is 10 watts, and green is 12 watts. Most pod devices don't have this feature, and I think that all of them should. Everyone likes to vape differently, and this makes it so that you can fine-tune the power to how you like to vape. Personally, I prefer the AVP set at 12 watts, and I wouldn't mind if it were a little stronger, but it's satisfying to me. If you wanted it a little stronger, you could use stronger nicotine. I've been using 24 milligram salt nicotine e-liquid, which has been pretty good. And the device will also always fire at the wattage that you set it, rather than dropping as the battery loses charge, so I love that feature. The battery inside the Aspire AVP is a non-removable 700 milliamp hour battery. That's a big battery for a tiny device. Since the coils are built at 1.2 ohm, you should be able to get a full day or even more out of the battery before you have to charge it. If you vape a lot and crank it up to its max wattage, the battery will drain faster, but still, it's a good sized battery. To charge the battery, you use the included micro USB cable and plug it into the bottom. The LED light will blink red 3 times and then it'll flash a different color depending on the charge. Red is below 3.5 volts or close to dead. Blue is below 3.8 volts and green is above 3.8 volts and nearly charged. It'll blink 20 times and the LED will turn off when it's fully charged. And there are safety features in here: automatic cutoff, short circuit protection, low voltage protection, overcharge protection, and overheat protection. Aspire also asked if I would compare their new AVP to other pod devices on the market, and I thought that could be interesting, so I chose a few of my favorite popular devices that I've used. So I think the Vaporesso Zero is a good one to compare the Aspire AVP to because they're similar in a lot of ways. The Zero turns off and on, the wattage can be changed to the same wattages, it has similar airflow, and the pods are filled using the same pressure valve method. They have similar flavor production too. Honestly, I'd say that these devices are pretty comparable in every way except for the style. The Zero can be found for around $18 to $22, and the pods are about $7 for packs of 2. Alright, now let's compare it to the Enjoy Ace. The Enjoy Ace is really popular right now because it can be found for really cheap, like $1 in some places, and it can be found in convenience stores, so it's really easy to find. The pods cost about $10 for packs of 2. The Ace has good flavor and has great tight draw, but it doesn't have adjustable wattage. The pods aren't refillable, and the pods seem to have quality control issues. So the AVP definitely wins in this comparison. Alright, now let's compare it to the Suorin Air. The Suorin Air is a stylish and, in my opinion, a great pod device. The Suorin device has a nice restricted airflow, which I like better than the AVP. I think the Suorin looks better and is more portable too. The flavor is pretty comparable. The biggest advantage that the AVP has over the Suorin is adjustable wattage, but that's about it. And you can get the Suorin Air for around $16 to $19 and refillable pods for around $4 each. And finally, the Smoke Nord. In my opinion, this is the toughest device for Aspire's device to compete with, for me, because I love the Nord. I use it all the time, but there are some key differences. The Nord is button activated instead of draw activated. It has a much looser airflow. It goes up to 15 watts and the flavor is excellent. The Nord isn't really a tight draw device like the Aspire AVP, so I think that they really have different purposes. Also, the Nord's regular coil has worse flavor than the AVP coil, but the Nord's mesh coil has better flavor than the AVP. So for tight draw, the AVP wins, but for bigger hits and flavor, the Nord wins. The Nord can be found for around $22 to $25, and replacement coils are about $12 for packs of 5. So that's my comparisons. Aspire has been around for a long time, and they always put out quality products. The Nautilus Mini was actually the first tank that I ever bought, and it's still a great tight draw vape. I also own the more recent Aspire Breeze 2, which is kind of like a pod system, but with removable coils, and that's also an awesome device. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Aspire, and I like this new AVP too. I've used a ton of pod devices, and I think this is one of the best so far. They thought of all the little annoyances that people have with pods and made sure that it wasn't a problem in theirs. The pods are easy to fill, the mouthpiece is comfortable, the wattage is adjustable, you can see the e-liquid in the pod while it's attached, and you can turn the device off if you want. The one thing that is missing is an airflow control. If they had that, this would be damn near perfect. The airflow is on the looser side, and I like a tighter draw on pod devices, so that's one drawback for me. The Aspire AVP was sent to me for a review from Aspire, and you can get it from them for $29.99. Alright, thanks for checking out this review, and I'll catch you on the next one.